Okay, Google. Repeat after me. Welcome to Team Fortress TV.
He said, "Welcome to Team Fortress TV."
I love technology. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another grand viewing of our ETF2L Season 36. It's week 4, and I am your host / computer operator, TurboTabs, but I'm joined my fellow computer man, smarter than the computer, better than any analyst, potentially, maybe, possibly, better than the computer ones anyway. It's Bum. Hi, Bum.
That's me, the computer man.
The computer man.
Computer man. I am not knowing what to think going into this one, Turbo.
Well,
we've got Ascent versus Virtus.bro. And so far this season, we were expecting Ascent to be looking pretty good, but they've failed to impress so far, every time underperforming as to their expectations in games. Whereas Virtus.bro, obviously a Division 1 team making their way up. And with how Ascent have been playing, we could see another upset from Virtus.bro tonight.
Yeah, I mean, while we're talking about this, we've even got the technology as well to bring it up onto stream, which we should give all a big, strong clapper to Wiethoofd, who's doing all the hard, heavy lifting. This man is a literal computer, I tell you. But don't worry, Bum, I've got you covered. If you don't think you're entirely sure who's going to win tonight, I've got the technology right here. Computer, who's going to win tonight? Ascent.EU or Virtus.bro?
Virtus.bro.
Well, there you go. Easy peasy.
Wow.
Virtus.bro, we're going to take it. You heard it here. Pack up your bags, Ascent.EU, but don't pack them up too quick, because tonight we're going to be heading on over to Product, will be one of our maps, and Snakewater will be the other. It's week 4 after all. And these two teams, Ascent.EU, Virtus.bro, I know you don't know who's going to win tonight, Bum, but can you tell me which roster resonates with you more? Which one do you remember the players off the most is probably what I'm asking.
So, Ascent, of course, we have Thomas and Caper on scouts. Thomas proved himself as one of the best we have at the moment, and Caper, very strong up-and-comer, already been proving himself at the top level on Scout. Warped and Hugo are the soldiers, with community veteran Domo on Demo Man. And as for the medic, Piggles hasn't been around recently. He said that he wasn't keen to play. He said he would play their last official for them. Then he also dodged that official. So I don't actually know who they'll have on medic tonight. It looks like they might play with Gink again. That was their replacement last time, but I'm not sure if Piggles is wanting to go ahead with the season.
What a replacement. Gink is nothing to sniff at. But before we start sniffing anywhere, we should head on over to Virtus.bro, which will be in the shape of Carls on medic. Kuna, that lovable French name from Yonder, is playing Demo Man. We got Daz and Tobbs on that soldier class, and we got Mist and Lanza on the scout. Now, I'm kind of made it a bit ambiguous because I'm not entirely sure. I can only assume that Tobbs is the roamer because I don't think I've seen Tobbs play much pockets, if at all. But I'm full of surprises tonight just because we're missing Piggles. I mean, it makes me wonder if I was a bit too harsh on him on those first couple of weeks of casting.
Yeah, you hurt his morale so much. He's quit the game, Turbo, and it was all because of you.
Not again.
He'll write you in his suicide note. TF2 career suicide note, that is. Hopefully it's not gone that badly.
No, all those twit longers. I can see them now. Career over. Alright, Bum. So let's go down to brass tacks here. It's week 4. We're pretty much halfway through the season now, and things are starting to solidify. Teams are starting to go ahead of the pack and which ones are showing vulnerable. And these two teams, they've had their ups and downs, but is one team kind of disappointed you at all, or is any team done beyond the call? What's your take on it?
Well, overall this season, I was surprised to see Swift performing so well. Obviously, sounds strange to say that on paper due to them having all the big shot names in Prem this season, but you can never really know what's going to happen when teams just refuse to scrim. We've seen loads of teams like this that have been playing for fun sort of thing and then folded after 1 week. But Swift have been performing just as you'd expect from those names. And if we had to go the other way, I'd say Ascent is, as I was saying before, the one underperforming to expectations, dropping points to Feint last week, who they expected to beat, but they actually only gained 2 points from that fixture. They've had tricky results as well with the French team at the top half of the table, Les Darons de l'Édition. Question mark. So yeah, Ascent have been. I'm looking for them to turn their season around tonight. Hopefully, they can start to show some signs of life.
Now, do you think having Gink obviously taking over these couple of spots, do you think that this is the sort of scenario they would like? Would they like to have like an experienced name in there kind of solidifying, or maybe just being a good force in the comms? Or do you think having these constant roster instability, that's not even a word, that's but just an unstable roster in the current shape it's in, that is Ascent.EU, do you think this is just going to make things worse for them going into the season?
Yeah, it's certainly not great for them. I mean, despite Gink being a top name, he's not really a medic main. Piggles, obviously being a medic main, just gives him that guaranteed advantage over any off-classing top player they could get. But of course, Gink, he knows his way around the game. He's not going to be just some stupid soldier main trying to randomly guess what's best to do. He knows how to play medic, and it shouldn't be too tragic for them. But yeah, obviously they've spent the first half of the season playing and practicing and really getting into the groove with Piggles, and to just have him snatched away from them mid-season is not going to be very nice.
There's not many times we get to talk about this, but let's talk about pressure, and particularly pressure on teams or expectations and how it's handled in the esports world of TF2. Do you think that these teams do kind of buckle to that sort of pressure, where you see a big name like Ascent.EU and you think like, oh, this team should be at least second or even first or something in the league? Does this bother these players? Is this what may be the reason for these teams struggling?
I doubt it. I think Domo's been pretty clear with what he expected from this team. Obviously, they've kept the Ascent name, but they are by no means the same team as the Ascent that's been winning Prem season after Prem season. He just wanted to bring up some up-and-comers, and I don't think any of these players on the server will be particularly scared of one another. They're all, PugChamp players. They've all know each other inside out by now for how long they've spent playing this game. I think pressure probably won't have too much of an effect, but I know that Ascent will be upset if they continue to struggle, especially against one of these teams that they seem to be bringing up the rear of Prem, Virtus.bro and the Gay Jail. If Ascent lose out to these guys, then it's definitely gonna be a real disappointment to them, and that might tilt them a bit if things start going wrong near the start.
It is interesting going into tonight's game, as Ascent.EU have almost like an entirely different way of approaching making a team, whilst Virtus.bro, they came as grassroots as a team could come by, really. It was a bunch of guys, not too on the radar for many people. Like, you might see the old name here and there, and I know they've had some roster shake-ups, because Tobbs looks a bit of a fresh face since I've last seen this team. But yeah, they played through like Div 1 together. I'm pretty sure they've played through previous Divs before. Do you think like that sort of history gives a huge advantage going into the TF2L season, despite not having played Prem before? Or do you think that Domo's way is better, just having that strong figurehead that's played Prem for a long time?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Domo, obviously, as you say, will be a great leader for Ascent, but there's no doubt that having the cohesion of just playing several seasons together gives teams a hell of an advantage. We've seen people make mixed teams before of just top players and expect them to do well. Obviously, it's working out this season for Swift, but we have seen some car crashes where teams of randomly assorted top players will lose out to teams who have just got the gameplay down from just weeks after weeks of practice. So honestly, to answer your question, or rather to not answer your question, I have no idea, and we're gonna find out tonight, I suppose. It'll be an interesting one for sure.
Excelente. Well, so our first map is going to be Product. It's a bit of the black sheep of all the maps, being the only king of a hill. And I know I ask all these players, and all the players feel confident as hell, but does the map pool really make it or break it for these teams in these sort of results? Are some teams terrified of Product?
Yeah, some teams are really not keen on Product, as you say, just because it's an entirely different game mode to everything else they're used to. It's pretty much an entirely different skill set of just getting hold of this point and holding on to it. You need to do loads of different stuff that you wouldn't usually do in a 5CP map, just due to the nature of not really having much of a tug of war to fight. Like, you'll see things like sack waves all the time on this map, because you know that if your team wipes, they're not going to push you back to last. They're just going to capture the only point on the map, and it'll take like 10 seconds to respawn. So there's plenty of different stuff happening on King of the Hill. Some teams thrive off it, some teams absolutely hate it, and I don't know what Virtus.bro's result was last week or who they played, but just a few days ago we did see Ascent lose this map out. They lost all 3 points to Faint Gaming, so they can't be too keen on this map, but they might have, buckled down and worked hard on it. They seem to be a very keen team when it comes down to it, so they could have put in the research and the practice they need, I suppose.
Have you seen much improvement in teams before in the past where they have like such a really questionable play on one map, and then come into the next week like a changed team on the very same map? Or are we expecting Ascent.EU to still struggle on this map tonight?
Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen an improvement that's as
black and white
as that. That's the word, yeah. But because obviously you play loads of random different teams. One week you could be playing 7, and the next week you're playing, I don't know, like my open team or something. Well, probably not. They probably wouldn't be in Prem, but you get the idea. There's, I don't know if I've ever seen something like it, but it could easily happen, especially with particularly a team that wants to bring up this new talent like Ascent. They could have very easily worked very hard on this map, had some long team talks about it. Domo is keen to I guess be the new
Cadus.
Yeah, make up his own little army of Prem players.
Yeah, carve his head into that Mount Rushmore of TF2.
Yeah, absolutely. We do finally have 12 players on the server, and it looks like one of them is Nasboy.
The Nasboy? The Nasboy? Get out of town. That's not Nasboy. Is it?
It looks like it is. He's been allowed on the team page.
Oh, interesting.
It looks like he will be murking for Virtus.bro instead of Kuna. And it looks like Vanny, not Gink, will be taking up the mantle of Medic on Ascent tonight.
Okay, so, wow, really a treasure trove of just old names. Well, I say old names, but just different names between both these teams. So, Vanny, if people aren't familiar, is a very oldish name. He's been a Swedish guy that's been playing around ETF Tour for about 20 seasons now, maybe, give or take. And he's played from Pocket Soldier to Medic. I think I've even seen him play some Scout. He's quite a wild card. He likes to play off classes, but hopefully he's not doing that tonight because he's playing Medic. But it'd be interesting to see how much he can kind of shake off the rust. I don't know how much he's been playing or not been playing, so that'll be an interesting point. But the bigger point I want to get into is the Kuna replacement, Nasboy. I think this guy's been popping off. You know, he's been playing on that Swift roster. He's been doing good stats if you've been following Beta's Twitter posts. And yeah, I'm impressed with this bloke, and I can't think of a better fit to replace Kuna, because Kuna is a big name for that team. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and Nasboy is just an even bigger name. Nasboy is an absolutely great demo man. They'll be chuffed to have found him to Merc. That'll be good for them. And Vanny, of course, more than capable on Medic. Probably better for Ascent to have than Gink, just due to Gink not playing Medic. Vanny's been around for donkey's years on that class, so he's by no means a noob to Medic. He'll be absolutely fine for them. So both these Mercs hopefully won't make too much of a difference, other than, of course, the not being used to the team environment.
Yeah, and it evens out that sort of disadvantage as well. Both teams, like you said, both playing with Mercs, are going to feel slightly uncomfortable, so there's no pointing fingers at the end of this game. In the grandest scheme of things, it should be an even game, hopefully.
I want to point my fingers to my watch right now. These teams are 20 minutes late.
Uh-oh,
ETF2L. Legally you're allowed to be 15 minutes late, so I hope to see a default and I can get an early night in, because we do have 12 in the server. I mean, there's no excuse now. TF2 players.
I believe most of Twitch chat, when they clock in, they go straight onto Twitch and they go on to here. They must believe it's just the casters. We are the ones that are purely controlling. It's like, no, you guys can't start. We want to start a tournament, not a tournament, and we just keep it on, just on the reins forever. But it is usually it's just these players. I think it's when you've got these Mercs coming in, it's naturally going to take a bit longer. You need to agree things. You need to sign things. You need to maybe quickly go through a rough game plan with both of your Mercs. Like, oh, you don't know about the hedgehog strat? Well, let me explain it to you with this MS Paint diagram.
Yeah, Vanny's quickly signing his Ascent roster contract, making sure Mailer's got everything signed up for him to play this one game.
Yeah, I did think I saw Mr. Wyatt in the building quickly. All right, so we've gone through the entirety of like ETF2L, but all that we've got left to do is the fabled or predictions, Bum. And I know you said you really couldn't place it at the start, but I'm going to put a gun to your head.
Oh,
Pray
God.
It's a scattergun, or what's it going to be?
I expect Ascent to win, but it will be rough. They might drop a point on one of the maps, I think, but I reckon Ascent will take it.
Yeah, I like to play devil's advocate, but I want to get a bit of clout points. I want to hopefully come across as pretty smart in the game. I'm going to go with the team that has Domo on it, just by the fact that I feel like Demoman is very important on this map, and not to snuff Nasboy, but if I had to take a guess, PugChamp barely plays King of the Hill, and that guy's just a PugChamp lord. He's probably never seen this map before, and he's going to be maybe a bit dazed and confused.
That's true. I don't think this map's even on PugChamp.
Yes, okay, smart man. Here we go, coming through. It's going to be Ascent.EU, but it's going to be a close one. 2-1, I'm predicting, but if you're just joining us, it's ETF2L Season 36, Week 4, on this Team Fortress TV channel. I'm TurboTabs, I'm joined with Bum and Wiethoofd, and we are casting Ascent.EU versus Virtus.bro on this Pro Dot map. And the first thing I'm seeing on this mid is Lanza maybe getting aggressive and just not going aggressive at all, completely baiting me and just holding back. And that's by actually connecting some nice fine pipes. You don't need to know the map to use pipe on man, as he will get some laying down ground damage, but the rest of Virtus.bro just being pushed back. The ground is being taken one by one by Ascent.EU. They'll make the jump over, but they won't commit, it looks like, on Ascent.EU. They've got to deal with all this bleeding as the flank is coming in from DQZ, who's going to free up all of those Virtus.bro players, and it's turned on its head. Domo has to turn away and keep his medic alive, who will have that 100% Uber, but so will Cars over on Virtus.bro.
DQZ absolutely clutching that mid out. Everyone was forced back from Virtus.bro, and DQZ just jumps into the entire Ascent team by himself. He's like, don't worry, I've got this, and wins out the mid fight just by them taking so long to kill him. We now see Ascent trying to retake this mid point. Thomas goes so deep in and does force the Uber, but Vanny immediately has to pop in return. Warped has managed to sneak into the backlines. He's going all the way to red spawn, maybe see if he can spawn camp someone, while Ascent meanwhile are pushing forwards over the point. Warp's now in with a bomb. Hugo as well, making his way behind there, getting loads of damage in with Ascent and just clean up the point whilst Virtus.bro are forced back there.
Yeah, DQZ, they must have rewarded him with a chance to play sniper, because he took that sniper class immediately, but got immediately as well cleaned up by Warped at the start of that fight. Made it really hard for them to come back into it, but during the scrappy fights they will kind of inch and take a life here or there, and those trades hurt a lot more on this product map just because those respawners aren't kind to the winning team. And Hugo will kind of reintroduce himself, get a 3 easy peasy kill onto Mist, and they're going to stop them from capping that point for now, but Mist is quite happy about this arrangement. He'll get back to his team with that slightly quicker respawn, and they're looking to make the push back in, but Domo denies poor Tobbs as he will lay down in a bloody mess onto the ground. Hugo's got a nice flank as well, and this is surely going to have to force out the rest of Virtus.bro here.
Yeah, this fight has just been so long. Virtus.bro have not been 6 up for ages. As soon as they get a respawn, they just feed one player in, and Ascent are just absolutely utilising that to waste all this time on point. It's still uncapped by Virtus.bro. They've got so much time on it. They do finally get their hands on it now, but Thomas already putting in so much pressure. The trade comes out from Vanny, and that's going to be Tobbs and Lanza going down in this Uber. It's so favoured for Ascent, and Hugo in with the massive bomb onto the combo. Doesn't get any kills, but he just distracts long enough. Manages to get out with his life as well.
I would love to see the stats at the end of this game. It seems like everyone's taking so much damage, but nobody's really dying here. It's a bit unheard of in a game of Product. You'll just see like the odd pick here and there, the odd little air shot to pepper somebody out, and then both teams will very respectively go back off, get those heals back up, and then re-enter the fight. And they're taking turns claiming this point, and it's down to the wire so far. Mist trying to lay down what sort of damage he can. Oh, he brought the Warp so down so low, but can't quite finish him off there. Will take the crossbow, and Ascent are managing to turn these this damage into kills, which Virtus.bro could just not do when it was there tied.
Yeah, Hugo is just absolutely baiting his logs to be the champion of his team. He's just bombing in and turning heads for so long. The point gets capped.
That was so close. Domo brought down to 7 HP there. Scout bum rushing in, but he finds the pipe onto him, and they're still cooped up in their base there. They could do a forward sort of spawn trap here, and I think Virtus.bro feel like they are doing that, but they've backed off. They're all the way back at mid. They want to hold on to this point with an arm's reach.
Yeah, they only have to do it for 45 more seconds, and with even Ubers on their side, that's going to be great. All the time wasted in the trade will be ticking off their clock rather than Virtus.bro's. Looks like Mist wants to take the trade in. He uses a lot earlier. Vanny has about 30% better Uber chasing this forward with his players here, and they will keep control of the point now, but they're all on the enemy team's side of mid. This could be dangerous if they get caught here. It's 1-for-1 though. Thomas and DQZ the first to fall. There is actually Caper going all the way back to spawn as Tobbs get cleaned up as well. But Virtus.bro have this ground on the point, and Ascent are just so split up. They're going to have to re-push.
Caper is coming in from behind. He's blindsided the medic. It's 2 shots easy for that scout, as they're going to be crawling all over the point now. Now that they've got that heal advantage, now that they've got that buff advantage and the pipe advantage from Domo as well. He's laying out the damage. Poor Nasboy is going to have just 22 HP, but it doesn't matter. 100 damage onto that lad will clean him up. Tobbs is trying to just block it with all of his fury, but it will be the first round to Ascent.EU.
Yeah, Caper just slammed that nail in the coffin with the drive-by. 2 shots with the scattergun, and that's pretty much the round there as soon as he gets that medic kill. Very well played from him. And just Ascent seem to be outclassing Virtus.bro in pretty much every way so far. VB have been players down for most of the time, taking so long to clean up soldiers and things. Ascent are just playing at their best right now.
Virtus.bro, they started off strong. Can they start it off again with a strong start on this mid? And oh my god, it's an absolute car crash bomb. They're losing everybody. Everyone's grinding into the gears of Ascent.EU. DQZ will find the kill. Oh, Hugo will even come in behind as well. No one will survive this middle for Virtus.bro, and it's gotta hurt.
Yeah, perfectly played by Ascent. They get the medic on the longest spawn wave possible. They get the forward hold already. That was just an absolute massacre. Virtus.bro trying to pressure out of main here. Vanny has a solid 60% add. We do see a pyro here to break the forward hold. DQZ
we did see a pyro, we should say. DQZ. He looks like he's trying to go for the Grand World Tour there, going on every class. Sniper, Soldier, Pyro, Scout next maybe? We'll see.
They are trying to bust the cliffside here, and they do get 2 critical frags. Toe is leading this all the way into spawn with his medic. They are just cleaning everything up. The forward hold gets broken for 1 second, and they just immediately get punished. Lanza, last man standing, will try and take this 1v1 with Hugo, but Thomas is there to help him out. There's 1 minute off the clock, and Feint haven't even seen mid yet this round.
That's 2 huge flanks coming out from Hugo again. Now they're using this super aggressive. I like this play. They spotted out poor Cars and they're just going to run him down. And with the medic taken out of the equation here, things might get a bit scrappy, but they could turn this all around if they play off the heels well enough and just back off a bit. This wastes a lot of time as well. Nobody wants to push into that middle point to go into the firing ground. And whilst your medic is down here, Bum.
Yeah, Ascent were 3 down, but you could just see all of Virtus.bro too scared to go onto the point. They knew that all damage they took would be devastating. Hugo in with a huge bomb again, will get swiftly taken down by Tobbs though. Warped, also unable to find anything, so we should see Virtus.bro getting the point soon enough here. Thomas getting spammed down very low as well, and this will be Virtus.bro capping for the first time in this round.
Yeah, but that took such a painful effort, and Product is one of those sort of nice sensitive maps. It shows pity onto the losers, as you've not only got that spawner advantage as well, but you've also got the option to kind of just play out your Ubers, I think, a bit more and do suicide waves. Basically, they've got a lot of tools in their kit to make this comeback here for Virtus.bro. It was only a matter of time. They're going to try and hold on to this point the best they can now. Ascent.EU want to sheepishly claim it right under their noses here, force the action out of Virtus.bro first before they force them. And Hugo, speaking of forcing, he will get the force onto Cars there, and he's multiing everybody here, so it should be a strong Uber for Vanny and co. But I saw Caster's Curse. They all seem to be burning at the stake, and Virtus.bro, they just need to, they didn't even lose the point. They can just hold the point here and don't even have to go aggressive.
Yeah, unfortunate timing. They wanted Hugo to distract while they took the trade, but then Hugo ended up shooting the medic while the trade was happening. He just threw his life away because of that, and then 2 people getting cleaned up on the end of the Uber. Not ideal for Ascent, but they're ready for their second attempt. Both soldiers bombing straight forwards, and everyone just holds S. They're able to cap so much time on this point. DQZ gonna fall 4 kills, going in the favor of Ascent, including the medic. This was a perfect repush. They just wanted to get those Ubers out of the way and take a 6v6 fight, and they purely outskilled VB there.
I think they were just going for like a med pick there. They just wanted to get Hugo in there, get some supporting spam, but they caught so much player that he just went, oh, we could just turn this into a good old regular push. And they even succumbed to a forward hold here. Tisk, 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 Virtus.bro. You should have seen that coming.
Unfortunate from DQZ there. He saw Vanny all alone, bombed him twice, but just could not get those rockets in. Vanny managed to stay alive for probably about 5 rockets time, and they're about to take an Uber straight into spawn. They just run all the way in. They get Cars with 2 shots. They get the demo man. Miss might go down here too. This is perfect for Ascent. They just really have no respect there. Just run into spawn and pick up everything they need to make it work. That was pretty funny.
Wow, I must have seen it all, Bum, because I've seen heavies, I've seen snipers, I've seen pyros, I've seen all sorts of strategies and weird ways to take this map. I've not seen many people push in with Uber onto the spawn. Jesus H. Christ, as they'll try and go for the Hail Mary push, the overtime push, the desperation push, and it's working. Who knew that they just had to believe in their hearts or believe in the clock, as they just managed to weasel out some time here, but they've got a whole minute and 35 seconds over on Ascent.EU to just cap out that point, and this round will be theirs.
Yeah, they're in the forward hold, but it's broken already as Thomas runs onto Nasboy. He does lose his life for it, but the demo man's worth a lot more, and they pick that up. Now Warped in with the bomb, catches Lanza out of position. Caper's going to be the one to clean that up. Here's a huge bomb from Tobbs, does manage to force off Vanny, and that will give Cars actually a colossal advantage to hold this point for the extra minute they need. More fighting going on as Tobbs falls in the back lines. Domo now trying to get control of this point. Thomas running forwards will force off the Uber.
Oh no! What? He came in! He just went over the Uber's head and just donked Nasboy, and he didn't see it coming. That Uber has been a bad Uber. And it's Cars now. It's just over. Like, I mean, what could they do? Like, there was no players.
Some Assassin's Creed stuff from Warp there. Just goes straight over everyone's head and gets that swift rocket onto Nasboy to take him down. That pretty much sealed the round.
Man, I feel like they could do with some breathing room on Virtus.bro. It seems to be happening so quickly for them, and there's no real chance to kind of realise or adapt, as they're going straight into the third and potentially final round here if Ascent.EU manage to take it. And I don't see any much action between either of these teams right now. Playing very passive, it seems.
Yeah, they lost a soldier for a sniper here, so they're not going forwards on this mid at all. Hugo actually bombs in now. Thomas trying to clean it up, but both of them fall, and it's a fruitless effort, as it's a 4v6 fight now.
DQZ.
Looks like Virtus.bro, just with the battle of attrition, they're hitting a lot of headshots here, DQZ.
Yeah, that sniper paying dividends, as the sniper's been kind of a bit off the air as compared to some other ETF2L games I've been spying over the week, and it makes me wonder, when is enough, Bum? When do you think that this sniper's just not working anymore?
Well, Thomas is taking the trade now. Cars uses a lot later. There is Warped behind the Uber, but he doesn't look like he's going to get much done there. As the Ubers do fade now on point, the fight will commence. 6 players each, and actually, just as I say that, it's pretty much a wipe for Virtus.bro immediately. Everyone in Ascent just converges on a singular point and takes down all 6 players. They are so confident right now. They are not giving any respect, and it's working perfectly for them. They get another forward hold here.
Warped was massive in that push there. Not because of he got any frags or assists or even damage. All he got was attention there, and he diverted like 3 or 4 eyes during that entire fight. It allowed the rest of Ascent.EU to just go crawling. And oh my god, they've this has not worked out this time. They made that another resupply push, and this is why people don't push resupply, because it's really hard.
A bit too cocky. Hugo in though, onto Cars, gets 2 rockets in. He just spams the third one. He just 360'd, couldn't see Cars anywhere, and just shoots nothing. That could have been a frag if he kept his composure. But yeah, Ascent maybe a bit too cocky there, just really throwing it away. They left Vanny all alone, and yeah, everyone else just threw by running into spawn. But Virtus.bro back in control of the point now. 2 minutes roughly for either side. It's a pretty even round so far.
Breathe with me, Bum. Breathe. Don't worry, we can still look smart at the end of this. They just need to calm down. Oh my god, Hugo just killed himself on the floor. This is already turning into a disastrous round in comparison to what Ascent's been pulling off. They even lose Vanny to an Uber charge. Did he drop his Uber? Did he even have Uber? I didn't even know. I'm not sure even Vanny knew, as he gets taken out, and Ascent have to try and pick up the pieces here, and the pick up the pieces usually means go for that enemy medic, and they can't even do that, Bum.
Yeah, Vanny did die with 60% here. Hugo's the only one hiding in a corner. Will he go for a sack or not? Looks like he's just going to wait for his team. But yeah, all of Ascent just left Vanny completely alone. He got bombed by only Nasboy in the Uber, and I think Nasboy just 2-piped him. It was really amateur mistake. Vanny didn't even have a heal target, as everyone ran away from him for all that force. Someone was doing something wrong, but Warped does take down DQZ here to initiate this fight, and Ascent have all the ground on this entire map. They just run all the way over the point, but eventually are getting cleaned up. Tobbs now re-aggressing. The point does not get capped by Ascent during all of that.
Yeah, in all that aggression that they tried to pay onto Cars there, they ended up losing a lot of casualties to Virtus.bro, and they are going to hold on to this point just for that little bit longer. They've actually got the Uber charge now, and they know that Vanny does not. They're trying to hightail it right on top of that medic, equal out that advantage. They won't get Vanny, but they'll get just about everybody else, as Paul Domo's in no man's land, and he is. No man's dead.
Yeah, it's just as good as getting the medic. They get a forward hold, which should delay for a decent amount of time, unless Vanny wants to use out of his own spawn, which wouldn't be ideal, but DQZ here on the sniper for a forward hold, also not ideal. Looks like Ascent are going to look to bust cliffside. There's Lanza and Nasboy laying down the pain.
He's adjusting though, he's looking at the left-hand side, he can see the heal beam, he knows that the medic wants to come out here, but the scout spots him, will kind of pepper him down and call him out, and because Nasboy went down there, it's going to be really hard to hold on to this point for Virtus.bro, so it's going to be quite miraculous unless the sniper can come out clutch here, and I'm not seeing any headshots ringing out so far, Bum.
Yeah, they did not manage to get what they wanted with that sniper pick, but Cars just needs to escape here. 95% does go down to the Uber. That's a perfect bomb from Warped right at the end there. And if you need to gain 1 minute 30, that is definitely the start of how you do it. Virtus.bro cannot be allowed to capture this point again if you're Ascent now. Domo!
That's crispy. That was nice. That was
Delicious.
Yeah, tasty. Nom 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 nom. Okay, so they've got 9 seconds. It's not quite the overtime instant cap win around, but it's still possible. And oh my god, Domo! Nice little pipe there onto Nasboy, plucking them out of the sky, and the scouts are just disrespecting each other. My god, did he just kill him with like a full buff versus non-full buff as well? Deary me.
And Tobbs is just so far behind, he should have died a lot earlier there. That is a very long respawn for him. It's not going to be great for this attempted repush that VB already seem to want. There's 40 seconds left for Ascent, but Virtus.bro with this sniper, they're just not really getting the initiation they want. They do get the Uber out now, but will it be enough?
Okay, oh well, okay, that's him done. Oh no, he tries to get another close range headshot, had the potential but couldn't quite line it up, and not something you see every day, the strategy where you hide your sniper around the corner and then have him pop out, but it will get...
They've just got this wipe now. There's 10 seconds left and the respawns are barely even here for Kars' Uber to take. He's going to run towards the point, uses it onto Mist and Nasboy now, and Ascent just scatter. They'll lose Vanny in the fray, but the rest of their players are alive with the rebomb now. Hugo back into the fray, Warped as well, will manage to clean up DQZ. It's just Mist in the fight, Tobbs bombing back in versus 3. He's not going to do it. Ascent actually take this map 3-0.
Well, I'd imagine there's going to be some very happy boys, and they're not just the ones in the commentary box. It's 3-0, very convincing from Ascent.EU. I gave more credit to the Virtus boys. I thought they would make this into a real scorcher of a game, but I mean, Bum, before we get into the mathematical breakdown, like, what was breaking down in this game?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to point to just one thing. Ascent were a completely different team to the one we saw a few days ago, and whether that's due to the opponents or themselves, I wasn't quite sure, but they were just outclassing in every respect. I think the DQZ sniper was kind of a last ditch from Virtus.bro, and it didn't work the way they wanted to either.
Last ditch? That man was playing sniper from like the second minute of the game. I mean, you're being tasteful about it, Bum, and I'm glad you said it, but I'll bully some nerds. Why DQZ? Why the sniper? I don't know. Maybe I've just been spoiled by all these other ETF2L players, and they've been popping off on this map in the previous weeks, but I just didn't feel the sniper's sort of scary pressure at all during those games.
Yeah, no, we see 3 headshots on the logs there. I think Ascent just know their angles to a T. They were not giving DQZ anything to work with. The only shots we really saw out of him were completely mental, lucky headshots at point blank range. When it was him actually watching down an angle, he was getting pulled out instantly. Hugo bombing behind, really putting the pressure on him a lot. It's difficult to work with, but they should have noticed it wasn't working a lot sooner, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we must look like a couple of geniuses, Bum. I hope you've dusted off the mantelpiece, ready for your analysis of the season, because we called it. Ascent.EU take this map quite comfortably, and Domo and Nasboy, they couldn't be quite opposites in this game. Domo was having the most comfortable time. He's got top damage, has he got top frag? Well, maybe not top frags, but the top frags in my heart. As Nasboy, he was struggling a bit, I feel like, apart from the odd pipe kill.
Domo has 480 DPM. Like,
Pretty
that's
good.
just incredible. He's
in a 3-0 game of Viaduct as well.
He's just like, okay, guys, we can't keep losing to these teams. I'm just gonna, go absolutely insane and carry you all if that's what you want. I mean, I'm meant to be molding you into Prem players yourselves, but I guess I just have to walk all over everyone for you. That's fine. I'll just do 500.
That's the twist of the anime. He molded himself into a god. But I mean, Viaduct is awfully kind to the demo men, but is it kind to the medics? Let's have a look. So, anything jumping out at you regarding these medic stats here, Bum? Because I'm not a medic main. I'm a ground get kill soldier.
Well, yeah, the death differential is pretty clear. In fact, I think I can remember all 3 times Vanny died, and it was just due to Ascent like trolling, running into spawn, or going for a kind of 6-man sack plague thing, and just Vanny getting picked off by being left completely alone. And I mean, I was surprised to see that only 3 deaths on these logs. I did not expect that, but that is very impressive. Like, that must be one of the defining factors of how they managed to win that out, was just Vanny dying so little.
Also, I want to point out, we don't see this stat very often because it only kind of invokes itself once it shows up in a game, but deaths after charge, Vanny's got 0, so it just completely obliterates that category, but Cars maybe having a couple of rough times that after he pops Uber, they aren't finding the engagements they want, and when they try and back out, there is no backing out of Viaduct, and he ends up getting killed after it. And I feel like that's a bit of the story of the game as well, was just cars getting forced or getting killed, and at these inopportune times, and Virtus.bro couldn't really pick up the pieces from that.
Yeah, really, 90% of the fighting on that map happened on Virtus.bro's side of the map. It's like Ascent were always at Virtus.bro's throats, and partly I think that's the fault of the sniper. Virtus.bro really had to play quite passive, waiting on their sniper, but Hugo and Warped getting in behind every single time at the perfect time just meant that after the Ubers, it was a fight on 2 fronts. They had to deal with the players behind. Warped often, as we saw, getting frags on Nasboy or Cars straight after the Uber fades. Hugo being the initial bomber to cause those distractions. And yeah, Virtus.bro just had no breathing room because of it. They were getting ran at over the point by 3 players. They were getting flanked by 2 players. And I mean, yeah, you can't have DQZ on sniper while all that's happening and expect it to work out for you.
All right, Bum. Well, we've figured out the problem. They haven't quite got enough ground. They're racing them into resupply, so we're going to give them more map here. We're going into Snakewater. Long map, 5 CP, different game mode. It couldn't be more of a fresh start here for Ascent.EU, but is it enough to change your prediction here? I mean, Ascent.EU for Virtus.bro, they don't need a fresh start. They need to calm down a bit. But yeah, who's going to win? Ascent.EU or Virtus.bro on this Snakewater map?
After seeing that, I am a lot more confident in Ascent. They're clearly a lot more confident in themselves than they have been. I'm going to give it a pretty convincing win, maybe 4-0 or 5-0 to Ascent after seeing that.
Whew! All right. You heard it here, folks, but can you see it here? It's ETF2L Season 36, Week 4, brought to you by Teamfortress.tv. It's your boys TurboTabs, Bum and Wiethoofd, and we're watching Ascent.EU and Virtus.bro on the Snakewater map, and Hugo already halfway through my intro and he's behind, and they're none the wiser. Oh, I say that, Mist has actually got his number, and Ascent.EU managing to clean up on the damage as well, and a bit topsy-turvy here as they kind of change sides for both teams, trying to chase each other around the map, and it's a bit loosey-goosey on these bits.
Vanny is a beast! Oh my god! So DQZ hid in kitchen. Vanny just duked all his rockets, got a saw on another soldier who bombed in afterwards. He's got a saw on Tobbs, I think, and then also surfed the rocket of Tobbs above Tobbs' head while Tobbs got cleaned up, and then just manages to stay alive on about 30 health for the entire rest of the mid, granting himself this 100% advantage. That was perfectly played from Vanny on that mid. And now we are going to see a full ad push. Looks like they're scouting out lower and moving up to Shutter on the top right here.
Vanny showing the kids how it's done. Uber charge 100%. They're just waiting for the green light, or should I say blue light, as they're ready to just go in. And here we go. They popped off the Uber immediately. They need to clean up their sentry gun, and they do that now. They even take out the dispenser to boot as well. Next on the list is the Fat Man, and my God, is he fat? He's just taking so much damage, and there's not enough damage being poured out from Ascent.EU. I bite my tongue. The soldiers come in, the scouts is coming in as well. They're pressuring the point here. Walker's the last one. He doesn't have a bullet to his name, but he's got a pickaxe. It's 1 round for Ascent.EU.
Mining himself into the round win. That was looking shaky for Ascent at the start there, immediately dropping Thomas to the stickies on point, and then just having no one to run the Uber into those players and get all the damage in. But it worked out. However shaky it was at the end, they have got that first round in 2 minutes. So, looking pretty convincing already so far for Ascent.
Yeah, strong start. Domo will even start this middle by knocking poor DQZ down. He's out for the count for this mid, really, before he gets some sort of healing. I say that, he gets killed as well, and my Virtus.bro haven't got a single foot on this mid. They just seem to be pushed out of the door before they even do anything.
Yeah, they really were, and if anything, they should have left even earlier. They were just hanging around doing nothing on that top side.
Oh my God, Domo! That was an accidental pipe, but it looked fucking sick, and Ascent will actually eat a couple of pipes themselves and some scattered guns. But with Vanny still alive, there's still hopes in their hearts. Lanza's trying to flank them slightly. Hugo can't seem to clean him up, and well, yeah, you're right. Wiethoofd just telling me down mic, are they going to cap mid? I don't think they are going to cap mid. They've come in for the second mid. Okay, well, Thomas is going aggressive, and
they've used Uber. This is a terrible pop from Vanny. I don't know what happened there. Hugo in, he does get the force on cars,
nice
and
Tobbs.
gets cleaned up by Tobbs' wall shot there, but yeah, Vanny just panic popped with nothing to threaten him. All of Virtus.bro were kind of staring at him like, what? Sorry, did we just see that correctly? But he does manage to clean that up.
Oh, the panic of a medic when you have all the eyes on you. Everyone is firing guns. They may not be like damaging guns, but they're like... It's still quite scary. The math is a bit harder to kind of calculate when you've got that much projectile hitting you. So, Vanny evening out his plays here. For every good play seems to be a bad play so far, but it will kind of give Virtus.bro some breathing room as they've got some ground on this map finally.
Yeah, due to Vanny's little panic pop, he does have a tiny ad. Doesn't look like they are willing to move off of it. So we are going into the first stalemate we've seen all night.
Whew. I mean, I kind of welcome it. I need breath. I need air. Ascent.EU. Usually it's the gentleman's agreement to let the one who holds the mid, go in first, as you've got that respawner advantage, that forward resupply. So Ascent.EU are parking their bums and hoping that somebody will go down, and they're not even throwing somebody in there. Nasboy's just throwing pipes, gets a fishy kill onto Thomas, and they could make a play off this over on Virtus.bro, but
yeah, Nasboy was just like, go long. Thomas is like, I got you. So he catches all the spam. Now it looks like Virtus.bro trying to take some ground, just dry pushing from grass here. It's a distraction for DQZ. He gets the first rocket, but that's all he'll get, and the rest of Virtus.bro take that as their time to leave. They were just trying to pressure to get that bomb in, and it worked out. But now it looks like Ascent going for a counter-sack of their own. Domo's spamming from up top. Thomas just actually jumping all the way through, getting loads of damage into Tobbs. If they don't clean him up, this could be deadly.
Ooh.
But he does finally go down and will return to normal.
Alright, with one player down, usually the roamers start perking their heads up a little bit. They're like, somebody's dead. That's a free jump. That's a free opportunity right there. I won't get blamed if I die on this. It's even players, baby.
Especially a scout with that little extra easier bomb due to one less player to deny you. But instead it's Lanza who's taking the butt of the damage, running forwards there, and gets taken down very low. Looks like they'll just back out and wait for something else to happen.
Alright, Bum, so what do you think of when it comes to these roamers and a player going down? Do you think they should just bomb in no matter what, or do you like it when roamers are a bit like picky about their bombs and they like to call like, nah, it's not ready, it's not the time, it's not in the cards?
There's a lot to be said for immediately going as soon as you've got a pick. Usually, as we say this, DQZ.
Get out of the server, DQZ, says Warped. Oh.
Okay,
sorry,
maybe we'll see
sorry,
a
Warped
counter-bomb
interrupted you there. Please continue.
I don't think I have time to, as Warped is putting in loads of damage here. It's just a distraction for Hugo, however, who absolutely pencil jumps due to that denial. But they've made all the space they need to. It's in fact Cars that uses first. And Vanny finally popping off his Uber in return. Cars could get caught here. Mist is going to be the casualty of the fight. And Ascent gonna have mid for free. Domo's trying to melee here. There's actually a 2 for 2 now as Lanza wants to push back in. If he catches Tomas, alright, now it's all in Virtus.bro's favour. They're gonna be able to get mid easily and chase into second. Domo does surf out and manage to stay alive, but Lanza will put the pressure on.
This happened again, Bum. They didn't cap the point, so all of that was for nothing. Oh, wow, Lanza getting the final, I say the final shot. Domo does a martyrdom grenade from the grave, and Nasboy is trying to get out, but Hugo's going to tractor a beam him back in and get him down, and everyone just seems to be trading here constantly, back and forth. What is the point, says all these players. They've been playing too much King of the Hill, Bum.
Yeah, absolute chaos. Virtus.bro were absolutely right to put the pressure on there once they noticed they had that pick advantage. Did not work out on second though, as everyone just trades kills all over the place. Tobbs just got forced down onto the low ground and swiftly cleaned up by Caper, who was waiting with open arms in the choke. Lanza also on Sniper, playing far back by his own kitchen right now. Caper's just all the way in onto Cars. He gets one shot, but it's not enough. Hugo spamming down as well.
Weasel's in as well. Oh, we'll go down. Oh no, they popped Uber. He wanted to save that scout there, but ends up going down. Warp goes in because he gets Uber charged, and now he eats an Uber of his own. And what is this? What is this? Everyone's just feeding and then popping Uber.
All
it's like intentional.
He's been caught out by Tobbs though. He could have made a play. He was waiting behind, but that will be the final frag. He was the last one alive after that wipe. And
all right. This looks like a genuine throw. Like, we joke about it, we make little nods and prods, but what are they doing over on Ascent.EU? They just keep feeding players in. Thank God one of them's really, really hard to feed. I say that. The sniper's back. Lanza gets the double headshot onto the fat man. Doesn't matter how big he is in the waist. He's thin in the head. He will go down. The scout's pressuring the point, and what a throw from Ascent.EU, Bum.
There was barely any room to work with for Virtus.bro. That was an incredibly impressive push. One of their soldiers bombed in. I don't know which it was, but it just took so long to kill them that they got all the rockets they needed onto Domo. Domo immediately gets picked off, and that's a wide open door. That's enough space for you to do anything you want. They run all the way in and get all the frags off the back of it, just from that soldier pressuring Domo and not being punished. And now they're confident, they're bombing straight in on this mid Virtus.bro.
Oh my lord, look at Nasboy, he's just like, I'm holding down the W key, boys, pray that we come out of it alive. And Tomas doesn't want you alive, he will get the double kill into kitchen, he wants the triple. Cars, baby, where you going, buddy, where you going? I want you, I need you, I gots to have you. And Cars, he's on 1 HP, 7 HP, the soldier comes in and saves him! Cars will survive! Oh my god!
Oh, he is a mad god in his realm. Cars, what an amazing escape there. He hit so many bows on Tomas just holding S out of that fight. Toe had to collect all the health kits on the way, and he still manages to stay alive. Perfectly played from Cars, and that gives him this Ubercharge advantage, which he's trying to push into mid with now. Lanza making some space. Tobbs also up top, trying to get this frag onto Tomas, which he will collect, but Caper's in the back lines, causing a bit of chaos. Will finally get cleaned up by the mysterious Cars himself, playing absolutely perfectly, and that's mid for them without having to use their Uber.
Just when I thought things were going well for Ascent.EU, they do things that surprise me and end up losing out on that mid. Oh my god, is Domo going to go down here? He goes aggressive and ends up trading with Tobbs, and not the greatest trade in the world, Soldier for a Demo Man, and they've got the DQZ coming back into the fight. They will pop off Uber just to kind of calm things down here, and they're using the majority of the Uber to actually get out, and Warped wants to hold his ground. He thinks the best defense is a good offense, and thank the Lord that Vanny is pumping him full of crossbows to keep him alive, and they will cap off that second point. They're already pushing on to last. They've got Vanny pressured with some stickies as well. They're trying to lay some stickies onto the point so the scouts can play them, but they're playing off the players instead. They're trying to take these 1v1 fights. Nasboy is still alive, will go down. Pistol will find the scout as well. The respawners keep coming in. Tobbs is the only one left alive. There's no more bodies left to be thrown, and it's turned so quickly here in this Ascent.EU versus Virtus.bro game bomb.
Yeah, Virtus.bro are on their A game. Ascent really just look completely panicked. They tried to trade there on second just to delay for their spawns. Did not work out as such, as they ended up with more players in the respawn queue than when they started. No one managed to escape on the tail end of that Uber. So all from there, it was just a 6v4 fight into last from Virtus.bro, and they're going deep again straight away. Vanny with a huge surf onto the enemy side of Mist, though, will get cleaned up by Mist. Now it's just a 2v4 fight. Nasboy, last man standing, will go down trading for Hugo there, but both medics down. They're on an even respawn, so will be even Ubers after this gets capped up by Ascent here.
I know Vanny went down there, but he did a good job of making it hard for them. And if it wasn't hard, I think Virtus.bro might have had an easier time actually maybe even turning that mid there, because it just took so much attention, so much firepower to take him down.
Yeah, but we do see Ascent pick up the second point from it as well. They had all those players left alive. After mid, they could roll it forward confidently. And they see everyone's holding shutter. They can bust left side for free, and so they do. DQZ tries to bomb it out, but
Nasboy goes down. Domo's gone down as well, so both Demo men taken out of the equation. Ascent.EU fighting for their lives, they're fighting for this point, and the defensive ground is just too strong. I think Vanny had an Uber for a little bit there. Might have got a slice, but not quick enough to get the Uber. Maybe not even worth it in the end, as they will push out and reclaim that second point.
Another 1 HP survival for King Cars. Managing to slither out of that one and hold on to 100% Uber advantage. Vanny's still down. This is... what did Tobbs just die to? There's not even an assist in the kill feed.
Yeah, roll out. He could have changed class. Who knows? But anyway, Tobbs. They're going in. They're using the Uber. They're trying to get Nasboy right on top of Vanny, and Vanny is not as easy to kill as... Oh, I beg my pardon. He has been killed. Nasboy will make it into a suicide mission. Hugo is going for a back cap, a rare Roma back cap. It takes so long, and it will actually get blocked out here. Hugo with a nice little surf actually leads back up. Stylish coming out from this English soldier, and they'll just kind of give the parade, roll out the red carpet for Ascent.EU, as the floor is full of red players right now. Just one Nasboy left defending. He has actually got a scout come back to help him out here now. Nasboy! Oh my god, he's got a double kill. Okay, Nasboy, look at him. He's a one-man defending machine. I mean, he did have a two-man there, but it felt like he was doing the work of one man.
Yeah, he had that trap on the door, and he was just acting like he was fighting on the point, but he had one eye on that trap the whole time. Gets two people down. Really clutch, incredible play by him to save that last there. It looked like Hugo was going to bring Ascent to the victory, just thinking on the fly, oh, I can't get the back cap, I guess I'll just kill their medic instead then, why not? But in the end, they don't even have enough room to capture second back. They will take down Hugo, but Lanzo will definitely die in return. Finally gets picked up by Vanny.
Quick bomb, do you push with the Uber now? They have the advantage over on Virtus.bro. Do you dare?
Definitely not out of last in a 1-for-1 down. In fact, it looks like Ascent being the one to push into the Uber advantage that's not in their favour. Warped being the one to bust through, gets taken down. Domo all alone downstairs will also get cleaned up. That was a pretty tragic attempt at whatever that was, and
But
now...
why?
Yeah.
But why? Why?
Why indeed? Virtus.bro have all this space just out of bridge. Hugo was hiding on the stack of crates there, does force off cars, and Vanny hasn't popped in return, so although it's 2 frags for the favour of
used the Uber,
Virtus.
okay. And now they're chasing down Nasboy. They will get him, but they can't... Oh wait, actually, my god, everyone's scattered all over this map. It's and they'll end up being back capped, but it wasn't really a back cap because they went back so much that it was now the front again. What is going on in this video game? Mist is going to go down. I'm going to start capping it off again. I think poor Virtus.bro are just as confused as, well, the rest of Virtus.bro is... Some people are pushing, some people are defending and backing, and it's all just a hot mess here. They have got the Uber advantage during all that, but if I didn't have like 2 bars telling me the advantages right now, I don't think I would know.
I'm interested to see how many times Domo has died. He always seems to be 1 step ahead of his team. Maybe they were all on the same page in the last map, but now he's just trying to command them into position and they're not fast enough to follow him, because he is getting caught out a lot, I feel like. Cannot be good for you when you're dying that much as Demo Man. It really gives up a lot of opportunities that you'd otherwise have. But we're even Ubers again. Caper will go down to the same trap that they both died to before. Hugo also tried to bomb in, will get cleaned up. So a double sack on Snake Water last isn't too bad. Lanza still on Sniper as well, so looks unlikely they'll be able to push out of this one.
It's got to be scary though, because they could get back caps here, and nobody's really on that immediate... Oh my god, Vanny! Get down, lad! Get down, Mr. President! He must have seen the sniper for a hot second as Lanza had him under his crosshair. He goes for the swiping Tinder motion, doesn't really get the hot frag, as... I'm just not seeing the sniper finding any more picks from now on, as they know he's there. Oh, he gets a body shot, but not really a pick. And things are finally calming down here, but this is good for Virtus.bro. They're up around. Surely you're feeling confident, right, Boom?
Yeah, they've got this frag onto Warped as well, as he tries to walk through the door into a Demo Man and Sniper. That's going to be at least lobby for them. Oh, that's a huge force!
Whoa, okay. That could have been a lot worse, Boom. Let's just count our blessings. That could have been a lot worse.
Usually leave lobby and the defending team is like, oh, there's not much we can do of it. Lobby's not a very useful area of the map to have control on, but Nasboy's just like, you know what, I'll just take a peek around this corner and just force a medic, why not? It's easy enough for him.
It was a pipe that was being shared with like 3 or 4 of the players as well, so a team wipe for them in potential then. As they're making this push out now.
Hugo's got behind though, Hugo's on last.
Yeah, but he's just 1 soldier, he's times 1 cap, he's brought 3 heads back and make that a really hard... Oh, Nasboy! He's more than 1 man though, he's going to get the pick onto Vanny, and with the medic advantage... Oh no, Domo's gone for the back cap as well, he's got the pain train! If they can't do it with times 1, they can definitely do it with times 2, and speaking of 2, it's 2-2 in this game.
Nasboy is like a 1 merc army at the moment. He is doing incredible things for Virtus.bro. Ascent are going to be upset that they even allowed him on the server, but in the end it's not enough. I mean, they sent so many people back for the back cap from Hugo, but then they all left the same direction, didn't spot all the other players going for the back cap. Here it is again, this incredibly fast double bomb from DQZ and Tobbs. They pick up Thomas, but in the meantime, their entire team dies.
What? Oh, got another 1 HP warrior. Lanza will hoover up a health kit, and they find the pick onto Warped, and it seems he didn't get the memo that the rest of Ascent were backing off there. They want to keep their medic alive. Vanny does not want to die anymore, wants to kind of one-up those Viaduct stats, as it's got to feel a bit scary for both of these teams now, as it's not looking very clean going into this 3rd round.
Nas's just baiting for Tobbs here, looking like he's out of position while he has Tobbs in the corner to sneaky surprise, but looks like Vanny's going to push in through Saw. In the meantime, Tobbs is just hiding here on the flank. Will get found by 2 players cleaned up though, so in fact Nasboy out of position again, does get bowed by cars to save his life.
I'm surprised they didn't go in with the Uber there, but I think they're learning the lessons here. They're calming down. They're capping the point. Progress here on this Snakewater map for Ascent.EU. They're watching those forward respawns because you never know. As they will get their second point for free, just with the threat of the Uber charge alone, but they've got their own Uber charge now over on Virtus.bro. But it's going to be hard pushing out from this last point.
Yeah, they've got Lanza up on the sniper again, watching that door. And everyone else just playing pretty far back considering it's even Uber. They do pick up Hugo with Nasboy's trap. Nasboy's not in position to just walk into lobby and get pipes onto Vanny this time though, so... In fact, it'll be Lanza trying to take a little step forward.
Oh, going for a hero shot. Wants to just kind of get aggressive, get into those almost certain death places, but with the better sight lines. And I mean, they may be better, but they're not the best. They can't find poor Vanny.
Yeah, and as I was saying originally, it could just be that Virtus... Oh my god.
Nasboy.
Domo going down to Nasboy once again. Vanny is so low as well, goes down to 50 health from some spam from Tobbs. This would be the perfect time for a sack if they had anyone in position. Looks like DQZ knows he's spotted.
Had half HP as well, I can understand.
Lanza just ran out onto bridge as well, going for a hero shot. That instantly gets shut down. And now it looks like Ascent might just want to bust this right side here. They are looking through the shutter. DQZ will do a lot of damage to Hugo and get that frag. Warped.
Vanny
Also
takes
bombs into a sentry there.
Yeah, Vanny took a pipe there, and I think they were like, I'm not pushing anymore, and just leaves his soldier out there. I don't know what they were hoping to get done with an engineer gun, watching everybody, protecting everyone, but they're going to try their chances here over on the second point. He's in on top of the medic. Vanny doesn't get a scratch on him, but he was already prepping his little serfs just for such an occasion, and with a spy, Hugo, they haven't got much defense for the second point. If he's going to do something, they need to do something right now. He's uncloaked, but he's been spotted. He's trying to pistol down the soldier. Won't work out, as they're just trying to head back for both of these teams. Caper will pick up the Nasboy kill. That's a big kill that they can make work here if there wasn't so much trading. And Lanza turning back around will go down to the Vanny crossbow. Didn't expect him to be a combat class, and Vanny decided to head tail and run. He's trying to link up with Hugo. We'll find him now and get that that Uber charge back on track. But it's going to surely be a second point for Virtus.bro.
Yeah, it was a poor trade for Virtus.bro on second, but they managed to clutch it out in the afterfight on last. And getting themselves back to second is good enough for them in their eyes. They also have a slight advantage, which I doubt they'll actually use. Thomas finally being the one to pick up Sniper. We haven't seen any offclassing at all from Ascent so far, but he's now going to pick up the AWP and see what he can get done.
Well, it seems he's taken his damage so far, not giving it, so he's going to rotate round, which is the mark of a good sniper, not just remaining predictable, using that surprise factor from any sort of doorway, and he's going up top this time, trying his chances at not the easy picks onto the soldiers and scouts for this guy, and we'll get a quick buff. The pressure is still annoying, but not quite devastating for Virtus.bro at the moment, and this is really the play right now. This is what they're banking on. In the final 5 minutes of the game is hoping that this sniper will get his pick.
Yeah, really, they want Thomas. Oh, Hugo goes down, and in fact warped as well. This is no soldiers on Snakewater mid. This will be pushed, and it is
Uber
in fact
used.
traded immediately.
Okay, Vanny really wanted to use the Uber there. He was like the first one aggressive for his team. The rest of them want to get out, and Vanny's the one most forward for his team, and they will get run over for it as well. The sniper being punished, and they're practically high-fiving each other on the midpoint, and
yeah, just having no soldiers there, so much high ground for Virtus.bro to just run over. As you said yourself, Vanny, way too close for comfort. He was the forward-holding player of the entire Uber, so he's instantly cleaned up afterwards. And off that wipe, it's 60% advantage for Cars, and honestly, I'm expecting Virtus.bro to come out on top on this one. Thomas is watching on the sniper from the left-hand side, the sentry gun on the right-hand side. And Warped
Ooh.
building with the escape plan above spawn. Toe actually switches
Oh,
onto
no.
Spy.
No,
but
Thomas, no, they're coming in with an Uber advantage. They've used in now. They're one less man in this fight. And Nasboy is one man on that point. They're pressuring the doors as well. Domo can't get out and help his team. And everybody just needs to get onto the point now. They've done it. Virtus.bro, they got the round.
That spy play was stupid. There's no other word for it. Why? I don't understand. You need to drop the medic for that spy play to be worth it, but they already knew how long they had taken on last setting up their other classes. They knew Kars would already be well on his way into lobby, and they got rightfully punished for it. Now it's 3-2 in favour of Virtus.bro, looking to take this second map and tie the official up. Only 3 minutes left. What can Ascent do?
You know, the game has changed for Virtus.bro here. Now it's about not wiping, going a bit defensive. You can lose, but just not lose dramatically, as they're going to slow things down. They play so sheepishly that they're going to get everybody out without even losing a frag here. And is it smart play? Is it cowardly play? Who knows?
Hugo is all the way in now, but it's just a distraction for Warped, the real player who's all the way in. Kars so low underneath, but all the frags have gone the way of Virtus.bro, and Kars stays alive at the end of the day. Nasboy in with the force! Now, this will be a much better Uber for Kars if he even elects to use it, which it looks like he doesn't.
They're chasing.
All of Ascent running back to mid.
They're chasing Lanza, but Lanza just kites them and goes back round and meets up with his medic, who has that Uber charge full advantage, ready, raring, waiting, but it might just be waiting as they're just playing it cool here on the second point.
They're waiting for the respawns, it looks like. They want Nasboy in this Uber, and he did die going for that force, so now that he's finally up, they might want to take this forwards. They do see the beam down on the lower side.
Oh, no.
Domo and Warp just walking in with Thomas. The entire combo's here. They do get the force, but at what cost, TurboTabs? Everyone's going down.
Nasboy's in, he's on top of Vanny, and he gets him! That's a long respawn for that medic, as they're finding the remnants of these last kills here that could maybe win the round by a back cap. That's the only play they have here, and they've done well to identify that and clean them up. And it played right into their plan there. Virtus.bro knew exactly how desperate Ascent.EU was and read them like a book bomb.
Yeah, my main caller has a strategy sometimes which involves pushing into the enemy team when they have full Uber. I mean, you get the force, but when the Uber comes out, you lose 6 players. Is it really worth it? And Ascent have found out, no, it's not. And now Virtus.bro winning all the frags on second here as well. Hugo bombing forwards gets picked up. Warps trades 1-for-1 with DQZ. And it's still all in Virtus.bro's favour. They have this Uber advantage, they have this player advantage. They're just going to chill and wait.
They're playing the game of, I know it's stupid, but... And it's just basically, I know it's stupid, but we have to do something. And this is where you just start doing the plays that don't even make sense. You just have to feel like you're very powerless here. You want to do something, anything that can just, you know, start turning the tide, rolling the dice here in this monopoly of Virtus.bro, and they're just going in. Another roll of the dice. This time, this one comes out. Snake Eyes. Nasboy goes down, and the Uber charge has been popped off the cars as well. And Lancer's not sure to take the fight, go back out of the fight. He's taking a scout 1v1 in kitchen as well.
Missed on the back cap.
2v1. He will go down. Back cap for Mist. They're trying to 7-man cap that midpoint as well. It's quick enough. This is not Granary. And that's one player less to worry about. Mist on the back line will be useless for this last defense. Domo's already thinking about setting up for last. Nasboy's relying on this sticky trap again. He pops off the Uber in the door immediately. Sticky trap nullified. Batman nullified. There's just a soldier left on the point. They'll throw everybody at it. Oh, Nasboy, a nice little turnaround with the point as well. Soldiers throwing rockets onto the point, and it will time out here to much of Ascent.EU's dismay, and they've taken the map. It's Snake Water. All Virtus.bro.
1 map each, no golden caps. That's 3 ETF2L points for either team. Ascent are going to be devastated, and Virtus.bro are going to be chuffed. They were looking as one of the weaker teams coming into the season, and this is definitely an upset for them. They did so well this official. That was a crazy map to watch.
That was I mean, I was doing little jokes here and there about it. I know it's stupid, but god damn, it looks so smart the way they were making the push work over Ascent.EU. It's just a real shame now because they're going to be kicking themselves, thinking back, oh man, if we just save time, like an extra 5 seconds or 10 seconds here or there from previous map. I bet they were even hoping they lost a bit quicker on some of these rounds just so they could make that final push happen. But I think, time aside, I think they were still going to lose that last point, even if they had an extra minute.
Yeah, I mean, there was just Mist at the end was trolling 3 players by himself. When the final Uber actually came into last, it was 3v4, I think, just because Mist was occupying 3 of the players of Ascent all by himself on middle. He wouldn't have been much of a threat if Ascent had just ignored him, to be honest, but yeah, Mist just trolling them leads to that finally going their way, but really Ascent seemed completely lost, to be honest. There was a lot of situations where they were kind of half walking in and then just feeding players and getting punished for it.
All right, let's if they're lost, let's look at the map here, the mathematical map over at logs.tf, and see if we can maybe identify why they were getting lost and who was making that so. And I think it's due to the big Mercman himself, Nasboy, towering over everybody, the only one with 5 digits on this board. He's got a lot of kills to boot as well. This man just does everything, putting on his best Call of Duty 4 impression. Ramirez, do everything.
Yeah, 31 frags on Demo Man, 345 DPM, topping the DPM by quite a margin. And yeah, he was making plays left, right, and center for Virtus.bro. Cars also staying alive at each and every moment he could, getting half the deaths of Vanny, really successful in converting a lot of situations in their favor.
Man, I will never doubt a computer again. It was Google told me Virtus.bro were going to win. They didn't tell me which map though, but they were going to win, and they must feel like winners going into this as well. There was not too much expectation put out. Not only did they have to play with a Merc, and they were kind of coming into this with lesser known names, but I mean, they were also going into it after that crushing map of Product as well. And yet they still turn it around. They threw on Ascent.EU. They had the first half of the map, bum.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the confidence seemed to backfire on Ascent. They were at Virtus.bro's throat the entire time in the first map, and then just a lot of times they thought they could get away with things that they really couldn't. They got shut down hard for it. Virtus.bro came in fighting with the mids this map. They were, well, as soon as they figured out not to play like pussies and just hide in the corner, they were really winning out those mids. And speaking of which, the last mid, I really did not enjoy their decision to be so scared of the 3-3. They didn't move out of their own corner of a mid for the entire fight. But I mean, in the end, it worked out for them, so what can I say?
Yeah. Again, some people may turn a nose up at that, but don't hate the player, man. Hate the game, as they will get that extra round of over Ascent.EU. So it's a tied piece between both of these players. I'm looking at the stats, seeing if there's not anything I'm missing or forgetting here. We can maybe just highlight the fact that the difference between the two medics, you know, Vanny, Cars. It seems like Vanny had Cars' number on that Product map, but Cars, oh my god. How many times did he get away with like 1 stinking HP? Boom.
Yeah, they must have been tilted at that. I mean, 1 is all you need.
It's what hurts about it more as well is like the last little balance in recent memory was that medic change where he gets that more passive HP here and there if he hasn't been touched for a little bit, and it kind of progresses up.
Yeah, or if he's healing someone who's hurt as well, gets a little bit faster bit of regen. But it seemed like when he was running away from Toe, neither of those will have kicked into account.
Fair point.
Just him and his pure skill.
Pure skill. I mean, he was scared. I remember. Was it Caper? Was it Thomas, I can't remember now, but it was finite health. He second guessed about entering that doorway, making it easy for cars to get the crossbow onto him. But man, just too many epic points to recount and recollect. But
yeah, a very, very fun official to watch, and I don't know what this spells for the future of these teams. I think Ascent are definitely going to be distraught with this. They were expecting a lot better in the season, and they've just delivered failure after failure. And this, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to deal with this one. They can't be very happy about it. Huge congratulations to Virtus.bro for picking up those 3 points in the last map there as well.
yeah, well, I mean, I think both teams must be devastated. Perhaps, maybe, possibly, maybe that maybe one of them's popping champagne instead. But I don't see any interviewers in our little Interview Me channel, so I can only helpfully assume that this tournament is over. The tournament is over. The tournament is over. We need to just wrap things up and just get to the clip section on Team Fortress TV.
Yeah, there should be a few of those. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with another game from the ETF2L season. We've got the French team. Let me try the pronunciation again. Les Garons de l'Édition versus the Gay Jail. If you come tune in tomorrow, same time, same place. You got anything to say, Turbo? Any shout-outs before we go?
Merci, bonsoir.
Beautiful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.